Good morning everyone. Welcome in my online classroom. I am Mohammad Soedujaman, Associate Professor and Chairman Tourism and Hospitality Management, Mohammedpur Kendriya College, Dhaka. First of all, I would like to thank our Honorable Principal, Professor Syed Jafar Ali sir gives his permission and advices to conduct the online classes. Students, I hope you all are well. Because of the COVID-19 breakout in the pandemic situation of the world, we are bound to stay at home. We are staying at home, but it does not mean we can sit ideal. We have to work for our next days. I hope you all will give attention to my online class. So I am here to take your online class. Today I will take your online class on strategic management, BBA, fourth year 7th semester, chapter 4, strategic analysis, and the topic industry. Now the question is being discussed. What is industry? Discuss the characteristics of industry. Discuss the key success factors in industry and discuss the industry life cycle. So the student commerce have much more skill and scope from those side. And the first question, what is industry or definition of industry? Industry is the economic activity concerned with the processing of raw materials and manufacture of goods. According to S. Larson define, industry is the production of goods or related service within an economy. And Google define, an industry is a group of manufacture of business that produce a particular kind of goods or service. We can say that industry is a group of manufacture or business that produce a particular kind of goods or service. Workers in the textile industry design, fabricate, and sell cloth. The tourist industry includes all the commercial aspects of tourism. The companies and activities involved in the process of producing for sale, especially in a factory or special area, that is industry. There are different kinds of industry in the manufacturing industry, agriculture industry, and different types of industry. This industry is a processing of raw materials and manufacture of goods in factories. And the next question, key economic features of an industry. This is important question of key industry of factories. And the first one, market size and growth rate. market size and growth rate. And the second, number of rebels. And the third, scope of competitive rebels. And the fourth, buyer needs and requirements. Buyer needs and requirements. And the fifth, degree of product differentiation. Product differentiation. And the sixth point, product innovation. And the seventh, pace of technological change. And the eighth, vertical integration. And the last point, economies of scale. Of scale. This is the key factors of features of industry. And the first one, market size and growth rate. And the second point, number of rebels. And the third point, scope and competitive rebels. And the fourth point, buyer needs and requirements. And the fifth point, degree of product differentiation. And the sixth, product innovation. And the seventh, pace of technological change. And the eighth, vertical integration. And the nine, economies of scale. That is the 9 important features of industry. Now the discuss in these features. First on market size and growth rate. Market size refers to the total number of firms operating in the industry. It is also important to know whatever the industry is growing, static or declining. It depends upon the position of industry in business life cycle in early development, rapid growth, early maturity, stagnation and declining. That is the market size of the growth rate. And the second point, number of rebels. It is important features of the industry. Organization should also know whether the industry contains too many small rebels or it is determined by a few lame firms. Similarly, they should also know about the various development in the industry, such as mergers and acquisition. And the next point, scope of competitive rebels. Scope of competitive reveals in an important factors for the organization to know about the levels of competition. Industry members must know about the nature of future competition. For example, if a company realizes that its future success depends upon diversification, product development, and market expansion, then it must start planning from the very first day. And the fourth point, buyer needs and requirements. It is important features of the industry. Buyer needs and requirements. Industry members must take into consideration the need and testing of final buyers as well as the middlemen. So basically organization have to do a lot of periodic research in order to know the major shift in buyers need and requirements. They should also know about the various factors affecting consumer behavior. And the next point, degree of product differentiation. Product differentiation is another important factor for analyzing the overall industry situation. If all the product of industry are not fully determined, then it will increase competition among the members of industry. In such case, prices of the product will be low and the new entrants will find it difficult to compete the existing firms. And the next point, product innovation. It is important features of industry and the product innovation. Product innovation can be used as a measure know the dominant industry features. If the industry is characterized the rapid product innovation and short product life cycle, then the research and development is very important for the success of organization. In such case, number of the industry must come up with new product to complete effectively. And the next point, pace of technological change. If the industry is characterized by rapid pace of technological change, then the art of the state technology is imperative. The success of organization, for example, industry of mobile phones requires rapid change in the technology in order to meet the changing consumer demands. Vertical integration is the important features of the industry. Vertical integration. It is important to know whether the competition of industry are partially or fully integrated. Similarly, the competitive and advantage and disadvantage of fully, partially, and non-integrated firms should be taken into consideration. Vertical integration can cause potential cost of production differences. And the last point, economies of scale. It is important features of the industry. Economic scale. Organization must also know about the different economies of scale of purchasing, manufacturing, and other activities. They should analyze whether the companies with high scale operation has any cost advantage or analyze or not. Any reduction in the cost of production leads to higher competitiveness with ultimately result higher profit. That is the key economic factors of industry. And now the question is industry life cycle. It is important part of a strategic management of industry. That is industry life cycle. There are 4 stages of industry life cycle: introduction phase, growth phase, maturity phase, and declining phase. That is the 4 important phases of industry life cycle. Now the question is being discussed. That is 4 stages or 4 stages of industry skill factor. And the first, introduction. That is the 4 stages: introduction, phases, growth, phase, maturity, decline is the last phase, decline. Annual sales volume. This is the industry life cycle. In the first one, introduction, and second phase, growth phase, and the third phase, maturity phase, and fourth phase, declining phase. So the student commerce have much more skill and scope from their side. Introduction phase. This phase is characterized by low demand for the industry's product and large upstart cost. Industries in the phase are typically startup firms with large upfront cost and few scale. Low demand, and in this stage, low demand and high cost of the price in these stages. And the second stage is growth phase. After the pioneering phase, an industry can transfer into the growth phase. The growth phase is characterized by little competition and accelerated sales. Industries in the phases have typically survived the pioneering phase and are the beginning to recognize sales growth. And this stages is sales is growth in these stages. And the next stage is maturity phase. After the growth stages, an industry will enter in the maturity phase. The maturity phase is characterized by growth that is now average industries. In these phases have significant competition and the return on equity is now more normalized. This is typically the longest phases an industry will go through, and this stage is sustained in several times now. And the last stage, declining phases. That is the important stage or phases in the industrial sector or industrial product or areas. In these phases, the declaration follows the growth and maturity stages. The decline phase is characterized by declining growth as demand shift to other new product. That is 4 stages in this business activities and business sites. So this is important in the industrial life cycle. Industrial life cycle tracks the evolution of a given industry based on the business characteristics commonly displayed in these stages. So the student business studies have much more skill and scope from this side. And the next question, key success factors in industry. Key success factors in industry. That is important question in this chapter or topic. And the first point, market position. Key success factors in industry. And the first point, market position. And the second point, product mix and development. Mix and development. And the third point, operating management. Operating management. And the fourth point, marketing and distribution channel. Marketing and distribution channel. And the fifth point, financial policy. Financial policy. And the sixth point, capital structure. And the seventh point, cash flow, production and liquidity. Cash flow, production and liquidity. And the last point, financial flexibility. Financial flexibility, that is the important key factors, success factors in industry. And the first point, market position. And the second, product mix and development. And the third point, operating management. And the fourth point, marketing and distribution channel. And the fifth point, financial policy. And the 6th point, capital structure. And the 7th point, cash flow protection and liquidity. And the last point, financial flexibility. That is the important key success factors in industry. Now the question is discussed below in the first point, market position. The analysis cover comprehensive assessment on the company competitive market position, which could be quantitative and qualitative, determined using the company's market share, size in the terms of sales and volume, and growing prospect going forward. That is the market position is important. Product mix and development. The analyzing including risks and assessment on the company diversification strategy and policy in the terms of demographically profile, product and market segment in an effort of maintaining steady revenue and portfolio and profitability. That is important. Product mix and segment, place and promotion is the important in this point. Operating management. And the next point, operating management. The analysis include a thorough review in how well the company manages its daily business operation, as a failure to effectively and efficiently manage the operation would adversely affect the company's future operating result. And the next point, marketing and distribution channel. It is important to the marketing and distribution channel. The analyzing cover throughout risk examination on the company's strategies to distribute product and examination to the related factors can ensure continuous product availability in the market in an effort to support sales. And the next point, financial policy. It is important key success factor in the industry should adapting in the proper policy, then the business verifying or nice or activity closely relationship. The analysis includes a review of management's philosophy, strategy, and policies toward financial risks. It includes examination of management financial targets such as growth, leverage, debt structure, and dividend policy. It is important. And the next point, capital structure. The analysis covers careful examination of the company historical, current, or projected leverage, debt structure, and composition management, and management of its liabilities is also reviewed. And the next point, cash flow protection and liquidity. The analysis covers thorough review of the company cash flow generation and capability to meet its short-term and long-term financial obligation. Capability level is measured by the company interest and debt coverage ratio. It is important factors, cash flow protection and liquidity. And the last point, financial flexibility. The analysis cover combined evaluation of all the financial measures above the arrive in an overall view of the company's financial health, analysis of real factors or figures that are not satisfactorily examined above, such as insurance coverage, restricted coverage, and loan bond agreement or potential links and support are also covered. So financial flexibility is important success factor in the industry. In properly handling financial flexibility or financial related works, then the business very nicely and closely relationship between this factor and targeting your achievement goal. At the end of my class, enjoy it. We pray for everyone Almighty. I am requesting you stay at home and be safe and be safe. Thank you everybody. Thank you all.